throttle body is making a ticking noise. I had the same on my Schumacher. Hey! Woohoo! It's working! It's the winter period, and whenever I'm free from work it's already dark, so I want to remove this ECU. And the way you remove it is just 4 bolts, one over here, one over there, there, and below there. 2 connectors, just press this one in, this one moves forward, and you can remove the connector and the ECU is out. Simple as that. What lays in front of you is the old ECU. As you can see, it's pretty dirty, and here's the new ECU. This is a 7-speed ECU. Basically they are the same. So what I did is I transferred the immobilizer information and the flash information from this ECU to this ECU, and I sandblasted it. And I also transferred the sticker. As you can see, the 261208243. It's the article number or part number for the manual ECU of the Stilo 2.4. So let's install it back into place. Just 4 bolts, 2 connectors, install the battery and see if it starts. Brand new ECU has been mounted. Well, it's not brand new, but for this car it is. The battery is placed. It still looks awful, of course, but the main focus right now is to see if this engine will run. The shiny part will come later, so let's see if it will start. As you can see, there's still a lot of moisture inside the car, but I do think that it's simply not closing correctly. Hey, this looks okay. Let's sit in the car, please. Immobilizer is off, so that's great. Neutral. Why aren't you starting? So I asked Ironman for a little bit of help. So let's connect. Connecting to ECU. Errors. Clickety click. So we got a TP sensor switch, a motorized throttle circuit. That's because I disconnected the throttle body earlier. And we've got an airflow meter error. Let's see if it will start. As you can see, it still doesn't start. Connects. Brake pedal switch, but that does not really matter for it to start. Why don't you start? It does matter if you have a silly speed ECU, but this is a manual, so what can be wrong? I just cleaned all the spark plugs again because I think they were probably too wet. Just use some brake cleaner and a cloth, nothing special. Let's see if it will start. You never know. Otherwise it has to be something electrical like wiring or immobilizer is off, still neutral. It is not even trying, so What can it be? It can't be the brake switch. Why? Come on. Guys, it is safe to say that we have an electronical issue. Basically, when the sun is out, it will start as you saw in the last video, but whenever it gets colder and more wet outside, it just won't start. So I was just looking around and I just noticed that if you just look on the inside of the plus here, there's a lot of black stuff on it. So I'm gonna clean it up with some sandpaper. Same on the minus, but I'm also gonna clean up the earth wiring over here and the earth wiring for the ABS module. And if it won't start after that, I will switch the fuse box from my 1.6, the other car on the channel, and swap it around and see what happens. This is 60 grit sandpaper. As you can see, that looks much better. Same from the minus side, as you can see, all clean. It is a size 12. Oh, it's very loose. The earth lead for the ABS sensor. So let's clean it up. It doesn't look that bad, but it could use a freshen up. So this guy here is a massive part from the earth wiring inside this car. As you can see below, I hope you can see it, a lot of black wires in here are coming together in this plastic box, and it's just one big mounting piece for the earth wiring. And look how corroded that part is. So it's not making a good connection, causing a lot of fake errors. And the same on this side, of course. So I'm gonna clean it all up and connect it back and see what it does. So everything is fresh. Clean this part, I clean this part, and that part, and let's see if it will start. Starting attempt number 64. Immobilizer go off, thank you. Okay, let's start it. It still won't start. Switch the fuse box, let's see what happens. This is what it looks like underneath the fuse box. So the fuse box is like this. I removed this plus wire over here and a little bolt over here, and beneath the fuse box there's the famous D4 connectors. Basically these can cause for a lot of electronic issues. As you can see, they are sitting below the fuse box. Water, etc. can come in over the years, and it all looks very dirty. So I'm gonna push these two up, pull them up. You can simply get them out like that. They all look pretty fine optically, but yeah, they all look fine. But I'm gonna use some contact cleaner, spray this, and I'm gonna replace this one. I'm gonna do that off camera. It's also not really a big deal. Just remove those connectors and it will get out. New fuse box is in. This is the old one. I also transferred one extra relay to this one, because this one is from a 1.6 engine. This is the 2.4. Relays are a bit different. There's also a big one over here. It was not on this one, so it's probably wise to remove that first and see what it does. So let's see what it does with the other fuse box. And there she goes. Oh man. Now you can see how narrow it comes to electronical, or at least the earth wiring, fuse boxes, etc, etc. So when you're having a problem with your car, at least an Alfa Romeo, Fiat, they all share the same fuse boxes. Clean them. Simply clean all the earth wiring and the fuse boxes, and you are, as you can see, good to go. And you might not hear it, but it sounds more relaxed, I might say. And it already slows down without the PVC. So it's yeah, it's running pretty good, can't complain. A little hailstorm. At least everything is dry, still looking pretty clean. I'm happy with it. As you can see, it's still a little up and idle. It's going up and down, up and down. That's because of the map sensor, because the air filter box going from the map sensor to the throttle body is not connected. So there's just random air what is measuring, and the ECU is basically adding more fuel, so the fuel and air ratio is completely off. That's why it's a little bit high on the revs. It's still okay, and it's at least, guys, it's running again. Finally. Well, guys, knowing that the engine is all fine and the car starts normally, it's a big relief knowing where we came from. The car was full of water, it didn't start, a lot of mold. It's smelling like gasoline inside the car, so that's something I have to look after. But it's running normal. So next thing we are going to do right now is remove everything in the engine bay, clean it all up, make it look brand new and shiny again, start replacing parts, and clean up all the electronical wires that we find along the way. But hey, we are making progress. But before I'm gonna remove everything from the engine bay, I want to make sure that it will start again. Let's start it again. It still starts a bit rough, but that's probably still because of the map sensor and other parts are still not connected, but it's running again, so that's better. Another reason why it's not starting, this part is all broken. So I replaced the negative battery terminal, so let's see how it starts right now. Look, that's much better. Much better. And even though it's raining, I'm still working on the car, so let's start removing things. Let's see if it will drive. Yep. Yeah, that will do. That's all we need. We have a steering wheel, we can shift, and we have a brake, so yeah. Let's go for a ride. Just around the corner here and see if it will drive. Well guys, that's the first drive in years for this car. Finally. Now it's time to remove everything from the engine bay and make it look like a brand new car again. mount for the battery out. Disconnecting the D4 connectors again. Now it's time to disconnect the plus wires from the terminal, plus terminal. It's time to get the battery box out. There's a bolt over here, a bolt over there, and one below there, all rusted. I'm gonna remove it and then remove the battery box. So all three bolts are removed, wiring is all out of the way, and hopefully it can come out. So what I'm doing right now is getting an ECU, coils, etc. in one box, and all the bolts and electrical things that I need to sandblast and clean in this box. Next thing I'm gonna remove is the throttle body. As you can see, there are 4 torque screws in there, and there's a little earth lead connected to the housing here. And yeah, let's go. It's a bit hard to film and to see, but let me see if I can turn on some light. There's a lot of oil residue inside the intake. Not much, but there is some. Okay, next thing is to remove the housing from the throttle body. Just one bolt over here, size 13. Unclick some wires over here and it can come out. So that mount is also off. Next thing is the map sensor right over here. There are 2 bolts, size 10, and they are probably rusted inside the plastic. So let's hope they will come out. Just gently. Oh, it's already. They are very tight. Yes, it will probably snap inside the plastic. Please don't break. Might be in luck. Oh man, look at the rust. Completely rusted. So let's get the other one out and this map sensor can get out. So this is the mass airflow sensor. So basically all the airflow is coming from in there into here, going out here. There's a sensor measuring. So there's a sensor inside here that is measuring how much air is coming in, going all the way for the throttle body, and so the ECU will measure the amount of air and the mixture of fuel for the engine to run properly. When this part is broken or damaged, this engine will not run. Well guys, it is starting to rain, so I have to quit. So in the next video guys, we are going to remove this engine and the gearbox from the car, do a full service on it, replace all the gaskets from the inlet, the exhaust, the inlet, the cover over here, etc. We're gonna blast all the mounts, paint them, make it look like a brand new car again. If you want to know what it would look like in the near future, this is my Schumacher before and this is after. So that gives you an impression of what we are going to do with this car. Also, you guys might wonder what we are going to do with this car. Well, this project is on hold due to the weather. I have to wait for the weather to clear up so we can wrap it. But here's a preview what I did a while ago. So I removed all the fabric from the car, I removed the tank cover, I loosened up the bumper. Before I'm gonna wrap the car, I want to install the parking sensors over here. Like I mentioned in the last video, I found the ECU for that. I already got the wiring. So before I'm gonna wrap the car, I want to make sure technically everything is working on the back. So we are going to remove the tail lights, the bumper, and install parking sensors. Let's go! The amount of water inside this headlight. Well, this headlight could have been from that car, to be honest. Anyways, let's continue. So I installed the parking sensors ECU. It's normally mounted somewhere over here. That will be something for later on. And from there, a wiring loom goes into here. There's a small hole in here, going outside, coming out here, and it will spread out all over the bumper. So let's install it and temporarily put the bumper back on and see if the parking sensors work. So the parking sensors have been officially installed back on the car. So the bumper is still loose on the car, and the parking sensors are just hanging out. Yeah, let's see if they work. Car is in reverse, so just let's walk towards the parking sensors. Hey, they are working. Let's try this one. Yeah, I know for a fact that they are working right now. And whenever a parking sensor is not working, so one is defect, that can happen. They are hanging loosely outside, the wiring, etc. But when one is defective, you will hear this. When you go in reverse, you will immediately hear this sound, which is really annoying. It will stop, but it's annoying. You can't feel it, at least not on these parking sensors. At least I can't feel it with my finger. But what you can do is just hold your ear close to the parking sensor, and you will hear this very hard ticking noise. So that's the way you can see which one is defective. But at least, guys, and the speaker is over there, it's working. So that's great. Now I can start focus on other things of the car, because it's still looking like a scrap car, to be honest. Next thing we are going to address are the rear tail lights. For testing purposes, I'm using this old rear tail light. I got it for a few years. It's damaged, and yeah, I'm gonna use this one because whenever I accidentally drop it, I can't buy a new one. So I'm using this one, so I can make sure that everything is working. This is the rear circuit for this headlight, tail light, to be honest. As you can see, there are only 3 lamps installed. The stop light with the normal light in it, the blinker light, and the reverse light. So I'm missing a light. Not sure if that's common in Brazil, but I need to install an extra wire on those 2 pins. As you can see, this is probably the negative or the plus side, negative side, I think, for this light and also for this light. So I'm gonna install a wire over here and see if it works. And for the normal tail light, I'm using LEDs. Not sure if they work, if they all work via cameras. I'm just gonna test it. I will show you the end result in a few minutes. I installed the electrics from the Brazilian version. As you can see, the LED is working right on the pins as I mentioned. Blinker light is working, stop light is working because I pressed something on the pedal, and the brake light is working. So next thing I want to find out, because this plug has 3 wires, because it's normally also used as a brake light. So I got 1 wire left. If I put it right on here, it will brighten. So that will only do it. That will only do when I press the brake pedal, because it's this circuit. Hey, working, great. Well guys, I hope you liked it. Sorry about the abrupt ending of this video. It's raining, can't do anything. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit the thumbs up button again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.